This is Hillbillies in the Bush, and today I'd like to show you guys a little something I put together. It is a emergency fishing kit. It's what I carry in my day pack, and it's a real simple tin. I'm sure you guys have seen these before, and it's an emergency fishing kit that I've tried and used, and I used to have all kinds of little fishing kits, and realized that when I actually went to use them, they didn't work as well as what you'd think or what the book showed or anything else. So over time I slowly but surely developed one that I know works, and I'd like to share a little bit of that knowledge with you today. And what this is, just one of these little cans. Now when I take this apart, and there comes a train, as you guys hear. What's on the top of this lid? Inside a computer hard drive are powerful magnets. Now they're a ceramic magnet, because this little thing you see down in here, all these hooks are on. They, I mean, it's glued to a piece of steel, and if you take a torch, you can wave it over a propane and just kind of heat that steel up, and the glue will melt, and you can pull that magnet off of there. Now you gotta be careful with these magnets. They're so strong they'll pinch your fingers if you got two of them. Usually there's a couple of them in a hard drive. So some of your older hard drives that you're no longer using, and if you haven't thrown them away, take them apart, get those super strong magnets out of them. In fact, I've taken two of these. Now it won't work on my wrist, but on Alex's wrist, I've actually stuck one on bottom and one on top, and they will clamp. The power will go clear through his wrist, but I don't do that very often, or I just done it a couple times to see if it would work, because his wrists are a little smaller than mine. Because my thoughts are, if you've got iron in your blood and you've got a magnet strong enough to clamp one up here and one shoot through your arm to do that, what's it doing to your blood? It'll probably be taking and collecting anytime your blood's pumping. I'll bet money that iron that's in your blood is sitting there collecting against that magnet, and I'm sure that wouldn't be healthy for you. I'm not a doctor or physician, but I know there's iron in your blood, and I know this magnet's strong enough to stop that flow of iron in through your blood. So I did it a couple times playing, and then it dawned on me, wait a minute. So he kept wanting to show people, and I told him no, that I don't think that would be a good practice. So, but anyway, that's getting off topic. What that magnet, I use that to keep my hooks in. Now there's also hooks in this little piece of duct tape, and then of course I've got, this is something I seen on Dave Wendell, Bushcraft on Fire. If you guys have not subbed him, go check him out, which a lot of you guys that are bushcrafters that watch my channel, you guys have already know about Dave Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire. Him and Tam, they do an excellent job making videos, and he's just got hundreds of videos that he's done. And Dave is a true bushcrafter, survivalist, very knowledgeable man, very humble, and I really like Dave's videos. I'll put the links down below to anybody I shouted out here. But he showed this little trick here that he got off of somebody else, and all it is a piece of printer paper. You lay your hooks down, you take some clear cellophane tape, and you just tape it, and that's all it is. And it keeps your hooks nice and handy. You can see right through them, and all you have to do is just basically rip out the back, poke the hook through, and you can pull the hook out. But anyway, these are my tiny little hooks, because I believe, you know, even if you're in a creek, if you're, you know, you want to fish for crick chubs, you can eat crick chubs. Sometimes you can use this to catch crawfish, crawdads and stuff. But there's my hook. Now, let me grab it. I got it in here. I'm gonna show something, guys, that I carry. Uh-oh, maybe I don't have it. Oh yeah, I do. Now, what this is what's called spider wire. I use spider wire exclusively, and here's what it looks like. You can go to Wally World and pick this up. I just got this here a week or so ago, and I can't even tell you what the price was. It's not that expensive as far as fishing line goes, but if you'll read on there, what's it say? It says it's 30-pound test with a line diameter of 8 pound. It says 8-pound test diameter. It's 30-pound test line, but it's got the diameter of 8-pound test fishing line. And as you can see, that is some small line for 30-pound test line. This stuff is almost indestructible. It is a braided line, microfiber, and I'll tell you, I've used this years, guys. In fact, I've had this on some of my reels for over 10 years. The line's actually faded from the sun, and it's still strong as ever. I mean, it may have weakened a little dab, but I have not broke the line. And usually about once a year, at the beginning of the fishing year, I'll pull about 5 feet off of it, clip it off, and I'm good to go. And even then, it'll still be faded, but it still works. So you won't see any monofilament line in this kit. In fact, I pretty much got rid of all my monofilament line. I have it laying around the house, but I don't use it for anything probably. This here spider wire is what I go with exclusively, and I've sewn buttons on shirt with this stuff. In fact, nope, not this shirt. I do have a shirt like this one right here that's got buttons sewn on it that popped off, and I'll guarantee you the shirt will wear off before that button ever comes off again. This stuff can be used for sutures. Like I say, it's super strong. It's just incredible. One of the things I wanted to show you guys or the little trick that I learned over time. As you can see, I've got several pieces. Then I have some of this waxed thread, which this is what my buddy gave me. He gave me some of this waxed line, which is awesome stuff, and I've been finding all kinds of uses for it. And you might wonder why I got this, and I'll explain it in a minute. But then, as you can see, I got some little tiny sinkers to help get the line out there. But one of the little tricks I've learned that I'm going to pass on to you guys is, you know, lots of times in most of these survival fishing kits, all you're going to find is monofilament line. And there might be 30 feet of it. Well, okay, go ahead and string that 30 feet out on the ground. I'll put you a hook on it and then try and cast it in the water. Even if you get you a long pole, 30 feet of line is a lot of line laying on the bank. Even 10 feet of line of the small stuff is a lot, and it's going to tangle on everything you've got. I mean, whatever's on the ground, it'll pick up and tangle up and twist up and knot up and everything. It's going to be a nightmare. So one of the tricks, and I want to pass on to you guys, is use some big line like this for your long stuff, because big line like this won't tangle as easily. And you can actually loop it. You can take this stuff and make big loops out of it like this right here, and kind of hold it in your hand loose, and then tie maybe 5 feet of this stuff onto it at the end. Put your hook in, because this, of course, is going to be smaller for your hooks and your sinkers. That way you've got the little tiny line, which if you drop this on the ground, guys, in any kind of vegetation, this little tiny stuff, you can't even see this stuff. I mean, it almost turns invisible. But if you've got, say, your 10, 20 feet of this stuff right here, or 10 feet of this stuff right here, you don't need to cast halfway across the river or anything. You just need to get it out there a little ways. And a lot of your fish are right along the bank. A lot of your bottom feeders go right along the bank. Your bass, I would say, if you got a tree that's falling in the water, you know, bass are going to use that for cover to ambush. They're predatory type fish. And I know I must be right, and I'm right on that, because my bass fishing buddy's sitting right here, and he'd have been interrupting me if I was wrong. But that's basically, you get your long string of this, and you can tie some shorter pieces, 5-6 feet of this onto there, and you still got your smaller line, but yet you got your big stuff for easy casting and reeling in. And then if you want to wrap it around a big stick or whatever you want to do is fine, cane pole, whatever. But actually, I just tie this if I'm sitting on a bank, and I've got other stuff going on. If I got other stuff going on, I'll just go ahead and put this on a nice sapling and let the sapling catch the fish while I'm doing other stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys that little trick that I've learned, and it works great. And like I said, you don't really see these in the your textbooks or survival books, stuff like that. In fact, most of your little survival kits that you got your line and stuff in, they won't have any kind of big line. They'll just have monofilament line, which I guess if that's all you had, that's all you had, and you'd have to make do with it. But if you're putting together a little tiny kit, I will guarantee you this will save you massive headaches by having your big line, the long pieces of your big line, and then keeping shorter pieces of this stuff to add to the end of the line for the small stuff. But that's my little survival fishing kit, and it all goes back in here like this, and packs away pretty neatly. And like I say, my hooks are up here on this, and it all goes together in this little kit, and there it is. And like I say, you guys have seen these little things. They're pretty small, but keep that in mind if you're putting together a little kit. Now you can build them even smaller than this. This is actually kind of a deluxe one with sinkers and as much spider wire and hooks as I got in here, but it don't take up much room. But just keep that in mind, guys. If you're stringing out a whole bunch of monofilament on the ground, you're going to tangle everything up. But if you got some bigger line that you can hook to it, bank line, or this stuff here that I've got, you know, similar stuff, and I highly recommend this stuff right here, which is my product review of this, I guess, would be this Stealth braided line. Like I say, I use this for everything. Some of your closed-faced reels like your Zebco 33, this stuff don't work good on it, but the bait casting reel or an open-face spin cast reel, this stuff works good on. Not as good as monofilament, I don't think, but it does work on them because I've used it on all of them. And this is basically what I use and the only fishing line I use, and you'll see it all throughout my kit for and I got a repair kit that I'm going to do a review on that I put together. But this is my little fishing kit for now. Hope you guys liked it. May have learned something there. It's a little trick that I've learned over time, and I'll guarantee you it'll save you a headache. If you've ever tried to use one of them little survival kits, you'll find out, you'll know whether I'm telling the truth on that. It's a pain in the butt to use that stuff. But if you got your bigger line, it makes life a lot easier. So thanks for watching, guys. Send comments below there, and till next time, we'll see you all later.